Good evening. I'm Magda Gebrselassie. Well, we begin tonight with breaking news out of the Niagara region. An Amber Alert issued by police late this afternoon for 5 missing children thought to be abducted by their father has now been canceled. But the investigation and the search for the children is still ongoing. Let's go right to our Angelina King outside Niagara Regional Police Headquarters. So, Angelina, why has the alert been canceled?
Well, Amber Alerts expire after a certain amount of time, but that doesn't mean this investigation is over. It's actually very much still active. Police have not been able to locate the 5 children or their father, the suspect in this 49-year-old Ian McDermott. Now, I was able to speak with police not too long ago who told me that the entire family, so McDermott, the mother of the 5 children, and the 5 children all live in a home together in Jordan, about 20 kilometers west of us here in Niagara Falls. They told me that both parents have had custody of the children. They range in ages between 5 to 14. Evelyn, Mateus, Sovereign, Eska, and Magnus are who police are looking for. So it was actually Family and Children's Services Niagara that reported the children missing, and an investigation by them is what actually triggered the Amber Alert. So at some point, they launched a child protection investigation and found that there were concerns of safety and well-being of the children. That's when police got involved. So police say that the children were taken from their homes sometime between September 19th and September 25th, but they weren't reported missing until in the last 24 hours. That's around the same time that a temporary custody order was issued. So that means that custody has been now put into the hands of Child and Family Services, which means McDermott is not adhering to that right now because he's not taking the children back home. So I asked police if McDermott has been known to them before this incident. They didn't answer that question, but they did say this.
We have concerns for their safety and their welfare in the presence of their father and with no one else there.
Police say that the family used to live in Toronto. They still have ties there, so there is a chance that McDermott is on his way to Toronto or there already. I asked Constable Gavin how the mother is feeling right now. Here's what he had to say.
I think she's concerned for the welfare of her children. She doesn't know where her children are, and that would be very traumatizing to anybody. But she's speaking with their detectives, and with her support and help, we can hope to reunite the children with her and bring this all to a safe and peaceful resolution.
So police are asking people to be on the lookout for a gold or beige pickup truck. They don't have a license plate to share right now because they are still looking into whether McDermott owns this truck or is borrowing it from somebody else. So again, the Amber Alert has expired, but the investigation still very much active. Police still looking for the 5 children and the suspect, their father. So of course, asking the public to still be on the lookout for this truck, or if anybody has any information, to contact them. Magda?
Thanks, Angelina. And now to breaking news here in Toronto. 2 people have been critically injured in a shooting near Jane and Finch. This is a look at the scene. It happened shortly before 9:30 tonight. Police say 2 adult men were found suffering gunshot wounds and were taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Officers are on the scene investigating. Now, just before 8:30, police were also called to a separate shooting just meters away on Driftwood Avenue. The victim in that shooting suffered minor injuries. From hot and humid to what looks like downright dangerous. Just a sense of what some of the videos you tweeted today as a heavy storm tracked across the GTA. Our Colette Kennedy is here with a first look at your forecast. Colette, the first day of October, coming in like a lion.
It is coming in like a lion, Magda, and showing us just about everything it's got. Heat, humidity, with a cold front moving in, that provides the lift, and so we're seeing the active weather that we had earlier. And I know for many areas around the GTA, there's a bit of a lull right now, and that's great. However, we're not necessarily out of the woods altogether. I do want you to know a special weather statement, which has been issued this evening, and that is still in place from Environment Canada, because some areas still looking, and this is all told, so it takes into account what you've already seen in terms of rainfall, but additional amounts to come through the overnight hours. 50 millimeters or more that we're looking at, and some winds may be gusting 70, 80 kilometers an hour or stronger. So all the areas there from the Niagara Peninsula and stretching all the way back just towards the Sarnia region, where we're still looking at that special weather statement, and just knowing flash flooding then generally being a risk. But we still have some isolated thunderstorm activity affecting us through the overnight hours. At least that risk is there for the GTA and much of southern Ontario. Heat, we know we had it today. Record high for this date in history is 29.5. Never mind that, because today's high was 31.8. So not only did we beat the record for October 1st, we actually beat the record for the entire month of October. Prior to this, since we've been keeping records, 31.6 was the warmest it ever got, and that was October 8th of 2007. Today, hey, we blew that out of the water. Current temperatures, still mild out there, 21. Factor in the humidity, feels almost like 30 degrees even at this hour. And again, I mentioned kind of a lull, but have a look at the projections. Okay, this is the radar just back to the west of us, some of the heavier rain and embedded thunderstorms there. That next wave coming through in the overnight hours affecting the morning commute. Then we get a break, and then likely more to come through the daytime. And then we get a break tomorrow night, but still there'll be more showery activity, cool temperatures, even into Thursday. I'm going to talk more about that and some of the other records that were beaten today as well. That's coming up. For now, know that overnight tonight, 16 degrees. Tomorrow, 15. Yeah, we might get to 17, but the temperature will actually be falling, Magda, as we go into the afternoon hours.
Okay, thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
For the second day in a row, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau was campaigning in the GTA. Now, today he joined a group of mayors to talk about guns. As Shannon Martin reports, people in the 905 say gun violence is on the rise, and advocates want more than just campaign promises.
I met him at a church. The end of last May was the last time I gave him a hug.
Pastor Delroy Sherman shows us a memorial, flowers and candles that still burn in memory of Jonathan Davis. In September, just steps from home, the Mississauga teenager was shot and killed. A group of 7 gunmen opened fire using semi-automatic weapons. Davis was an innocent bystander.
I'm standing here today and saying that enough is enough.
Today, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau surrounded himself with GTA mayors, repeating his pledge to ban assault rifles across the country. If re-elected, he says cities would get more power to restrict or ban handguns.
Could I get a show of hands here from mayors who would like a national ban?
I can tell you I heard clearly from them that many of them want us to bring a national ban.
If you take a look behind you, all those people are saying national ban. You heard it from the medical professionals, so why not go that route?
We are taking the strongest step in Canadian history to move forward on tougher gun legislation. And the choice in this election is, do we move forward on strengthening gun control with the Liberals, or do we go with the Conservatives who want to weaken gun control?
Mississauga's Mayor Bonnie Crombie, who joined Trudeau on stage, says a cross-country ban would be better, but that's only part of the solution.
We need strategic and targeted programs for our youth.
We have to look out for our youths in the community. We have to look out for the potential of our youths in our community. If we turn a blind eye to their potential, we're going to have more violence.
Pastor Sherman says federal leaders should visit the communities struggling in the aftermath of gun violence.
We are the ones that are closer to families. We are the ones that are closer to mothers that have lost sons.
Shannon Martin, CBC News, Toronto.
On one of the city's hottest strips, a piece of prime real estate is sitting empty. Now, the city is waging a legal battle over the St. Patrick's Market building on Queen Street West in hopes of giving the old marketplace a new life. City Hall reporter Lauren Pelly has this exclusive story.
This building near Queen and John has a rocky history. Left to the city in the 1800s, the property was meant to be a public marketplace. But things got messy over the last few decades with the current leaseholder. Legal battles over rent payments and a public health scandal.
The mice look well fed.
A family of mice caught on camera munching on a vendor's baklava.
This is what the former St. Patrick's Market looks like now. There's dirt and graffiti on all of the windows. And if you want to get inside, good luck. There's a big gate blocking each of the entrances and a padlock, so you definitely can't get in.
And there's not much to see anyway. All the vendor stalls are vacant.
This is publicly owned land in the heart of downtown. It should be used for public benefit, not a lease that continues to be unused.
The city has now applied to end the current tenant's 50-year lease, which still has 2 decades left. Court documents filed by Toronto's legal team allege a company called Market Inc. continues to breach its duties to operate the Market building as a mini food market.
This has been 11 years in the works. In fact, this was a legal matter around the lack of payment of rent back in 2008. In 2014, the city looked at this yet again because the site was vacant yet again.
The leaseholder, George Friedman, told us Market Inc. is remaining committed to this project, saying all the rent has been paid on time, always, and he doesn't understand the city's motivation.
Just here north of us is the Harrison Bath swimming pool.
The area's councillor says it's clear. The space is a prime spot for redevelopment, with a swimming pool and this public park just north of St. Patrick's Market.
This historic building, which is just spectacular, but has been sitting vacant for years. And so we have an opportunity here to revitalize public land for people.
If you had your way, what would you try and do with an empty building like this?
Well, I've seen lots of stores come and go from this building. It's not very lucky for marketing, or not marketing, like retail. So I think I would probably make it some kind of activity center.
It's a busy street, so probably a food joint or a clothing.
Really a community center, which would be really cool since it's right by OCAD.
All those ideas are possible, but bringing this building back from the dead means the city will have to win in court. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
When you leave your dog with a dog walker, you expect them to be safe. But we meet one woman who witnessed her dog getting hit by 3 cars while it was under the care of a dog walker.
I'm really frustrated and like really hurt to know that someone who was supposed to be taking care of my dog, who's essentially a family member for us, took it so lightly. We trusted her.
I'm Talia Ricci, and coming up, we speak to other customers who say it's not the first time something like this has happened with this company.
So she basically lost my dog and didn't tell me about it.
A Toronto woman is warning dog owners about a company that she was using. Just over a week ago, she happened to spot her dog on the street when it was supposed to be with a dog walker. Then she witnessed her dog getting hit by 3 cars. As Talia Ricci reports, it's not the first time an owner has claimed their dog was lost by this Toronto company.
This is Jimena Davila's Great Dane, Cornichon. The dog owner still can't believe what she witnessed.
I saw a dog that was crossing onto the road, and I realized it was my dog, and I saw her get hit by a car. Then she ran up the streetcar track to Wellington, and then she got hit by 2 other cars as she crossed the road again.
The dog was supposed to be with a dog walker, but she was nowhere to be seen and didn't alert Davila that her dog was missing.
I'm really frustrated and like really hurt to know that someone who was supposed to be taking care of my dog, who's essentially a family member for us, took it so lightly, and so like it's such an irresponsible behavior. Like, we trusted her to take care of our dog, and she hasn't called, she hasn't apologized.
She says the dog walker is Shannon Pike with Pup in the City. Pike didn't respond to CBC Toronto's request for comment.
So she basically lost my dog and didn't tell me about it.
And according to this dog owner, it's not the first time this has happened.
She was keeping him at her house and not letting me know. And my concierge found him outside the building crying and like scratching to get in. And he was maybe like 5 months old at that time. So if you see how big he is now, he was like half the size, maybe even smaller. And he was just running by himself on Fort York.
According to the city, commercial dog walkers who walk between 4 up to a maximum of 6 dogs must have a permit. The Toronto Humane Society offers its own dog walking services, and they say it's important to do your research.
You want to make sure that there's experience there, there's animal handling, there's animal walking and training available, so certificates provided upon request. But really and truly, you want to make sure that you know if anything does happen with the animal, that there is emergency protocols and processes.
For Cornichon, it'll be a long road to recovery. Davila says the Great Dane has injuries to her lungs, hips, and has to be sedated to stay calm, and that the incident has been difficult for her to process too.
Every time I walk by the intersection, I get like goosebumps. It's so fresh in my mind. It's like, it was terrifying, and like the sound, I could hear the sound.
Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
There's a new bridge open in Liberty Village, and it's been a long time coming. What makes this one the first of its kind? That's coming up.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
The Garrison Crossing, a new bridge linking Trinity Bellwoods Park to the Fort York grounds, officially open to residents today.
Woohoo!
Mayor Tory on hand for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. The stainless steel bridge spans 2 rail corridors, and it is the first of its kind in Canada. Toronto's chief planner says it will now take just 9 minutes to get from King Street to the Bentway underneath the Gardiner Expressway. So we caught up with some people crossing the bridge today.
I'm happy. Road safety, number one. So I feel a bit safer coming this way from where we are in Trinity Bellwoods down to the water on a safer route.
It's a beautiful structure because sometimes we don't always choose attractive infrastructure, so that's nice to have.
The city is set to host an official community celebration for the crossing later this month. And now Colette Kennedy is back with a look at your long-range forecast. So Colette, we should pretty much just keep our umbrellas close, right?
You're right, Magda. For the next few days, it's not going to be constant, but we're going to have these waves where, you're going to want to have it handy as the precipitation moves through. We had the heat today, one-day only event, folks. These are, I'm not suggesting all, but these are some of the record highs from today. And in many cases, old records just smashed. Look at Barrie, almost 28 degrees today. The old record, okay, it was only from 2005. It wasn't a long-standing one, but still well over that. For Toronto, it wasn't only the record for today, it was the record for the month of October that we beat. London, a little bit above. Hamilton well above, St. Catharines well above, and looks like you beat it there in Windsor as well too. So that's the kind of heat for the first day of October. It comes along with it because of this cold front moving through and that providing the lift. There's very juicy atmosphere here. So we're looking at a special weather statement with the rainfall amounts, and this is all told, so it includes some of what's already fallen, but 50 millimeters or more with some gusty winds through all the areas extending all the way over towards the Niagara Peninsula. The current temperature, even at this hour, holding on like this, well above seasonal for a daytime high for the October 1st date. And then you factor in the humidity, and it's incredible out there still. That's all going to be changing, though. Like I said, one-day only event. Have a look at the radar imagery and some of the heavier rains. I superimpose some of the lightning strikes in here with this active weather and all of that tracking eastwards. So through the overnight hours, we get into some more embedded thunderstorms, rainfall into the morning commute. It's likely going to be a slow drive. We'll get some breaks, then some more rain coming in late in the day. On Wednesday, we'll get into some clearing. It's going to be short-lived, though. So overnight Wednesday, we may have some quieter conditions. But into Thursday, we'll see the next round of some showers moving through. Now, by Thursday, I'd expect we're not talking about the active weather in terms of thunderstorms. We're just talking about wet conditions and feeling much cooler, that real dampness. It'll be much more like fall weather as we go through tomorrow into the afternoon and then into Thursday as well. The other thing we'll be getting is falling temperatures tomorrow afternoon. As the winds change direction, that cooler air starts to settle in. We'll actually start to rise towards our high and then see the temperature dropping as we get past the noon hour. So overnight tonight, those mild readings prevail. Tomorrow, it's going to be a struggle to get up to these numbers, and I know it's very little fluctuation from the overnight lows, right? And then those temperatures really falling as we go through. We will start to see things improving in terms of drying in our skies, but like I said, another wave coming through into Thursday, and the high only 15. Friday, we get to dry out, but look what we get for our high temperature, 13 degrees. Saturday, 14. Finally, by Sunday, Magda, we get to not only have, there's a chance of showers, but some drier conditions and temperatures a little more reasonable again.
Let's just focus on the sunshine then.
Yes.
Thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
And here's another look at that afternoon storm from our harbor cam on the Toronto Islands as it came and went through the downtown core. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Arthur Simeon, host of Accent on Toronto 2019, CBC's annual comedy showcase right here at the Danforth Music Hall. I'm going to be here with Toronto's top comedic talent on Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. Please go get your tickets today. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster. Please go get yours today. No, I mean like right now. Like go. Like right, go get. All right.
Now he's a super cat, man, you a dada. We fling those stubborn at the boy with the bomber. Me link up ninja man, front teeth with a hammer. The gun with me fireman, it is a typewriter. And we part me boom from a rock coach, parry, come me born, and me go in the slump.
It's a song that won him a Grammy in 1992. Today, 66-year-old reggae artist Louis Rankin is being remembered. Yesterday morning, he died in a crash involving his car and a transport truck near Shelburne. OPP are investigating the cause of the crash. Rankin's verified Twitter confirmed his death, and since then, tributes have been pouring in for the Jamaican dance hall artist turned actor. Celebrity DJ Khaled shared these videos on social media, including a personal video of his friend.
I know DJ Khaled over 18, 20 years now. When I met Khaled, Khaled was a DJ. And look where that man reached. That man flying his own plane.
Khaled writes, "Bless up my brother. Long live Louis Rankin." Rankin has appeared in films such as Belly, Shatas, and We Run the Streets. The original Don Dada lived in the city and was also a big Toronto Raptors fan. Well, the season is over for the Blue Jays. After a less than stellar season, they're hoping the offseason will be pivotal in making the team competitive again.
When we are in the middle of a sustained period of winning, we're going to look back at this offseason as a very important starting point to that.
Jays GM Ross Atkins says adding to the pitching roster will be the focus during the winter. The team ends the season with 65 wins and 97 losses, the first 90-loss season for the Jays since 2004. The Jays' spring training schedule kicks off February 22nd, 2020 against the Yankees. Well, that's our show for you tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.